Thanks for coming back to the Patrick Lane Show, where we talk about personal finance, investing, and real estate. And my goodness, what has happened to Bitcoin today? You know, on the news of Elon Musk and Tesla buying Bitcoin $1.5 billion worth yesterday, predictably, what happened? Bitcoin has shot up today over $48,000 at one point for a single Bitcoin. So that's a pretty incredible rise just based on one company, one man's purchase and involvement with Bitcoin. So, but what does it really mean for the rest of the market? Is this just a fluke that it's going to drop back down? And, is there a sentiment now among other companies that they need to adopt? Those are the things we're going to talk about in this video. So before we get started, do me a favor, smash that like button right now just to get it out of the way so we don't have to think about it anymore. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We need to get our subscriber base up so we can build the channel out and push out some more content to everybody around YouTube who wants to learn about investing, personal finance, and real estate. So we appreciate you doing that right now. Smash that like button. Now, when Elon Musk and Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, it was looked at yesterday as sort of a leading edge, first adopter sort of a technology, even though Bitcoin's been around for a long time. Obviously, people have been investing in Bitcoin and trying to use it more as a decentralized currency, but there hadn't been a lot of big companies that had come out yet and really announced that they were going to adopt it as something to have as a cash or cash equivalent reserve on their balance sheet. But also yesterday, and I think almost more importantly, was the fact that Tesla announced that they were going to start accepting Bitcoin as payment for purchasing a Tesla vehicle. That to me is going to be the real move forward with the acceptance and the general usage of Bitcoin. Now, I didn't know this until I started looking into it for the video, but frankly, there are hundreds of companies around the world that already accept Bitcoin as payment, and they're names that you wouldn't necessarily think of. I mean, places like certain Pizza Huts and certain Subways and Home Depot and a lot of names that we would recognize if we saw them have been accepting Bitcoin at various points. Microsoft, AT&T, others like that, but it's not widely publicized. Now, why they choose not to publicize it, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that the more companies that begin to accept Bitcoin as payment, the more and more consumers are going to adopt Bitcoin as an alternative to cash or currency, regardless of where they are around the world. And that really is the whole point of Bitcoin, is that it makes itself out to be two things. Number one, a gold standard or a gold reserve, something that's going to hold value like an asset like gold. And number two, to be a decentralized currency, so it's not tied to any sort of government regime, or fiat currency that's issued by governments around the world. Now, there are, I should say, some big announcements that have come out about Bitcoin in the past few months. Particularly, probably the most important one other than Tesla yesterday was a few months ago when PayPal said they were going to start accepting Bitcoin and allowing people to pay with Bitcoin. Now, PayPal has 26 million merchants across the United States who use PayPal as a way to accept payment from their customers. And of course, PayPal has millions and millions and millions of users of PayPal who use it to pay for things. Well, if PayPal as a payment processing service allows those merchants to then accept Bitcoin, that automatically means that those 26 million merchants, small, medium-sized businesses, mom and pops, whoever could be a payment merchant through PayPal, are going to be able to accept Bitcoin as payment, which is huge for the adoption of Bitcoin. Also, interestingly enough, there are several governments here in the United States even that are making laws and regulations friendly to cryptocurrencies. You've got the state of Ohio who's looking into accepting Bitcoin for payments to the state. You've got some counties who are looking at accepting it. The state of Wyoming has tried to bill itself as the home for cryptocurrencies by changing their rules and regulations around cryptocurrencies and trusts that hold cryptocurrencies. There are actually a couple of businesses who have set up as banks in Wyoming specifically for the purpose of accepting deposits in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency because other states weren't allowing them to do that yet. And so Wyoming is really making a big push for cryptocurrency entrepreneurs and businesses, and also people who are high net worth and who want to hold crypto, to come to Wyoming and do business. And in just the last few weeks, the mayor of Miami has started talking about actually taking holding some of Miami's cash reserves in crypto and Bitcoin specifically on their balance sheet. Now, he's talked about using Bitcoin or crypto in three ways in Miami to make payments to employees, so they would get paid in crypto if they wanted to, for people in the community to make payments to the city using crypto, and then also just to be held on their balance sheet as an investment or a cash reserve alternative to cash, much the same way that Tesla did. So it's going to be interesting now with Tesla being making such a huge splash and holding $1.5 billion in cash in crypto, in Bitcoin. What happens now to other companies? And frankly, I think you're going to see, maybe not with the speed that Tesla did. You know, they ended up dumping over 7% of their currency holdings, their cash reserves, into Bitcoin. So other companies may not do that much, where they would put 7% or so in. But even if they held 1%, 2%, 3% in Bitcoin, it's going to drive the price of Bitcoin up through the roof. I mean, it went from under 30,000 to almost 50,000 just in the last few weeks. And by the way, an interesting note for those who think Elon Musk and Tesla are crazy for holding this much in Bitcoin, you know, they changed this policy at Tesla in early January. Now, we don't know exactly when Tesla bought that $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, but let's just assume for a minute that they bought at the low point in January, which was around the 27th of January. Bitcoin was under $29,000 or under $30,000. It was just over $29,000 for one Bitcoin. If they bought $1.5 billion of Bitcoin when it was at its low in January, and it was up over $48,000 per coin just in the last 24 hours, that's a 63% increase of return on that $1.5 billion investment. That means that Elon Musk and Tesla made $945 million, almost $1 billion, just by dumping some money into Bitcoin in the middle of January. Now, to put that in perspective, the net operating income in 2020 for Tesla, for all of their car sales, was $1.945 billion. And so if you look at that, that means that Tesla and Elon Musk made almost half of their entire profit for 2020. They made it in about a 2-week span in January of 2021 and the first week of February 2021, just by investing in Bitcoin when it was at its low. So for all those who talk about Elon being risky and making moves that nobody else would make, maybe there's a reason that he's been so successful with Tesla and now he's the richest man in the world. It's because when he sees an opportunity like Bitcoin, for example, at its low, he jumps on it, and it turns out to be a great thing on the upside for him. So, there have been a bunch of analysts out there who have even before this given their price targets for Bitcoin in the next year and the short-term future. And a lot of those were 50,000. Well, goodness, we're almost at 50,000 now. So I think the long-term prospect for Bitcoin over 50,000 is a good one. By the way, every time you see that thumbs up, let's smash the thumbs up button, right? So I think over 50,000 for Bitcoin is a given. It's going to go over that, I think, pretty soon. Now, some of the other analysts have talked about 80,000, 100,000. JP Morgan even came out with a price target not too long ago of $140,000 per Bitcoin. And then you've got some that have gone up as high as 2, 3, 4, 500,000. I don't know that we're going to get that high, and I don't know, frankly, if Bitcoin is going to hold its value as an asset if it is so expensive that nobody can buy it. But what does Tesla buying it mean for other companies and for the adoption of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin in the near term? I think that Tesla has sent the signal that it's okay. Other companies who are going to want to be considered forward-looking or forward-thinking are going to adopt it and hold cash, hold some of their reserve currency in Bitcoin as an investment. And also, the more it becomes adopted by consumers, they're going to want to be able to accept it from their consumers. So they're going to drive those two things. And frankly, it's going to be to a point real quick where shareholders of those other companies are going to say, listen, why aren't we investing our cash reserves in Bitcoin so we can get this return on investment like Tesla did when they made almost $1 billion in 3 weeks on investing in Bitcoin? So I think for the short term, the prospects are good. The price is going to go up on Bitcoin. It's going to be an asset that holds value. And I think these price targets that some of the big boys out there, the big analysts out there have set of $50, $80, $100, $140,000, I think we're going to see those getting hit real soon. Now, the $500,000 moonshots, I don't know. But frankly, back when it was 29,000 in the middle of January and back when it was down in the low teens, not too long ago, most people would say 50,000 was a moonshot. But here we are, sitting on the moon, thanks to Tesla and Elon Musk. So do me a favor, let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are. Is Bitcoin overhyped? Did Tesla make a bad move or a good move? What do you think the price target for Bitcoin is going to be? Is it going to be 40, 50, 100, 500,000? Let me know in the comments what you think. And thanks for checking in with us today. We appreciate it. Do me a favor before we get out of here. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And we'll see you on the next video.